Hello YouTubers. I want to share my experience with the Gladiator Garage products, and if you find this video or any of my other videos helpful, please like and subscribe. It'll really help me grow this channel. Okay, the two cabinets you see under the window are the Gladiator Garage Ready to Assemble cabinets. All the other cabinets are the Gladiator Garage pre-assembled cabinets. Now, when I bought those original cabinets on the back wall, that was all Gladiator Garage made. They still make that product, but they call it part of their Premier line. And they've gotten quite expensive over the years. The base unit you see on the left with the 5 drawers is a $650 unit now. And the other unit next to it is, I believe, $450. I didn't pay anywhere near that for these. I was in my local Sears store and these were on the showroom. They had been dented slightly in shipping and they were marked down super cheap. And that's why I bought them, and I have loved them. They're somewhere between 15 and 20 years old. I've not had a single component fail. They're not rusting. They're in great condition. I'm very, very happy with them. And so I've been so pleased with those. I need a little bit more storage space, but I didn't want to spend that kind of money on cabinets. So yesterday, I purchased and assembled 2 of these ready to assemble cabinets, and they are really good. They're, to me, they offer, I'd say 80% of the value for 50% of the price. So it's really something to consider. I think that they have a tremendous bang for the buck. And so there's a few differences. You'll notice the Premier cabinets have rubber bumpers on the corners. The wheels on these are solid rubber, whereas the wheels on the newer cabinets are plastic. They're both a 6-inch wheel, so they'll roll over any terrain without any difficulty. Both cabinets have locking front casters and swiveling rear casters, so they're very easy to move about. I never intend to move these cabinets. They're going to stay right here under the window. The reason I put wheels on them is so, in my garage anyway, it gets very buggy and spidery and dust bunnies accumulate, and I want to be able to just unlock the wheels, roll them forward, sweep behind them, dust off the back of the cabinets and under the window, and then simply roll them back into place. Had I got the cabinets with feet on it, and then load them up with my floor jack and some of the other things I have in there, that would be nearly impossible to move without unloading them. And so I bought the wheels just so I can wheel them back and clean behind them occasionally. But anyway, the Premier products, one of the big differences is the drawers. On the Premier products, the drawers come almost all the way out, so you can easily get to the back of the drawer. The ready to assemble cabinets, the drawers come out just a little bit over halfway. And so you do have to reach into the cabinet to get items that are in the back of the drawer. I do like the full extension drawers better, but I don't really want to pay the price. Another difference between these is on the base unit, this shelf is fixed. Now you can adjust it up or down, but it stays in place. On the Premier cabinet, the shelf is also adjustable, but it's on rollers. So you can pull the shelf almost all the way out and easily access things in the back, and it's much easier to lift a heavy item straight up from the shelf instead of having to reach into the cabinet. So those are the major differences. The Premier come already assembled, they're welded at all the corners and they're ready to put into service. The ready to assemble cabinets, you have screws at each corner, 2 on the side, and again 2 at each corner. So you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 screws around the top and 12 screws around the bottom that put together the 4 sides of the cabinet. Now, I want to point out what I believe is an error in the assembly instructions. The assembly instructions say for you to assemble the four sides loosely. Attach the bottom half of the back panel, and the instructions then tell you to tighten all of the screws and then install the feet or wheels. Now, I did it according to instructions, and when I stood the cabinet up on its four wheels, only 3 of them touched the ground, and the cabinet was clearly askew. When I assembled the second one, I tried something and it worked much better. I put all of the screws into the cabinet sides and into the lower back panel, but I did not tighten them yet. I attached the wheels, then stood the cabinet up on the wheels, and then I tightened up all the screws. And this resulted in a cabinet that's level and square, and all the wheels make contact with the ground as they should. So do not follow the instructions on this step. Leave the screws loose until you put the wheels on the item and stand it up, and then snug up all the screws you have put in to that point. One other item in the instructions that was unclear is on the bottom of the drawer. You assemble the two sides, the back, the front, and the bottom together. There's 5 major pieces. It was not clear whether this lip that runs the length of the drawer front should go over or under this lip on the drawer side. I can save you a little time. I did it both ways, and it fits better if you go over the side lip with the drawer front lip. Another little assembly tip is the top of the drawer is slightly recessed from the side of the cabinet. The bottom of the drawer actually protrudes ever so slightly. I'm talking about a 1/16 of an inch, but being nitpicky, I noticed that. I think that's inevitable, but you can minimize it by loosening these 3 screws on the side. After you've assembled the drawer and inserted it in and you've tightened everything up, loosen these 3 screws and pull the top of the drawer outward, push the bottom of the drawer inward. There's a little bit of give there. And then retighten those 3 screws. Do that on both sides, and you can get the drawer where it fits almost perfectly flush. Also, expect to spend a minute or 2 adjusting the doors, the left and right door, to get the gaps even and get them square and true. It just takes a few minutes. It's not a big deal, but you're not going to have them assemble right off the bat. You'll need to loosen the screws and fiddle with them a little bit. Now, if I wanted to spend a little bit more time on this, I think I could get all 4 doors perfectly square and even, but I got them pretty close, and that's good enough for me. Now, there's not a lot of information on the dimensions of the interior of these cabinets, so I wanted to share that information. The drawer is 24 inches wide and 16 inches front to back, give or take. That may actually be closer to 15.5. Let me just check that real quick. Yeah, we're gonna call that about 15.5. Now, there's also not any information that I could find to talk about the height of the cabinet. So, from the bottom lip to the top is just a touch over 18 inches. Now, there is a lip there, so if you do it that way, you've got almost 20 inches from the floor of the cabinet to this top piece. Now, the depth of the cabinet, or the depth of the shelf is just a little bit over 16.5 inches. And you do not have to install the middle shelf. It's adjustable. There's 4 different positions. You can leave that out. It's not required for the structure of the cabinet. However, the magnets here and here are what keep the doors closed. So if you choose not to install the middle shelf, you may want to relocate this magnet above or use some other similar magnet. Like I say, these represent a tremendous value in my opinion. They do take some time to assemble. Take your time, read the instruction, work on a level surface so that you get everything nice and square. But to me, they're a lot of value for the money. Now, the Premier cabinets are awesome. And if you can afford them, go for it. They're as close to perfection as I think you're gonna find in a cabinet like this. But they are expensive. So for my money, the ready to assemble are better value. You get most of the performance of the Premier for a good bit less money. I hope you found this helpful. Please like and subscribe so I can grow this channel. Thank you.